This is coming to you because of Eric motherfucking Bana.
Ooh, that's a hot mug, guy.
You know, a movie I just saw again the other day, which is fucking like mind-blowing, and I haven't seen it since it came out, is Munich.
Oh, Munich! Munich fucking rules. Munich is awesome.
Hey guys, a little bit of an off the beaten path review here, but before the whole crisis thing happened, Netflix had released Munich, at least for Canadian viewers. This movie came out in 2005, and it's the last time Steven Spielberg has ever tried a R-rated film. He has not done one since. In 15 years, the man hasn't had a blood squib. The story bases itself on what Israel did after the Munich Olympic massacre, the retaliation against the Palestinians and other affiliated terrorists with Black September, and the fallout that happened to the spies who performed in the operations. Eric Bana is the leader of the team, and we see the story of him and his men as they take out these terrorist leaders, as well as ramifications and the damage done on themselves. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is one of the most hotly debated, very controversial, but very, very interesting ongoing conflicts still happening today. These guys have been at war since Jewish refugees were given Jerusalem, kicked the Palestinians out, and they've basically been conflicting over each other for the same pit of land for the last 60 years, and they are still fighting each other. This film goes into depths about why they are still fighting, and while there are some cool sequences, very unique camera work, very cool character tracking, some very intense moments, my favorite part about the whole film actually is the safe house, particularly the scene where they come into the safe house and then Palestinian soldiers come into the safe house. They have a little bit of a standoff, but then they agree that it's a safe house. And then we see the two sides who absolutely despise each other kind of coexist inside this house, and then Eric Bana and the other team leader have a conversation of morals and a debate about who deserves the land and why Israel will never win and how Palestine will never win. And it's one of the best scenes I've ever seen in film in terms of a dialogue / debate conversation between two characters. I love this scene so much because there's so many hidden layers between their own conflicts, between their own morals. And this is also the tipping point for Bana too, because afterwards they have a conflict and they fight each other and the other leader dies. But we see that Bana is shaken by this incident. And that's what happens throughout the film. We see that Bana slowly starts to kind of realize that there's more under the veil than he was originally told. And he starts to question whether his cause is actually as just as he thought it was when he started. And as team members start to die, we see these guys conflict with each other, and we see them really go at odds with what they think is the right thing to do in this situation. And the film ends with such a level of ambiguity that it just chills you to the bone. And even though the final leader of Black September was actually taken out by his crew, and they don't show that in the movie, it's still a great movie about the Munich conflict, about the Palestine-Israel conflict, as well as it's a great hard-hitting Steven Spielberg film. Are there some issues? Yes, there's a few narrative issues. Particularly, there are a lot of moments in the film that aren't historically correct. For instance, the ending is not like that at all. From what I've read, he actually did finish his mission and they did take out the leader of Black September. There are a few moments in the film where it narratively jolts, and it's because Spielberg was trying to film this basically the opposite of how he filmed Jaws. Jaws, he took 3 times as long to try and film that film. This one, he's trying to do it in less time than he's originally given. He was banging out scenes. His editor was putting things together while they were shooting it. And they were doing all this to try and make it for Oscar season, which they did. They didn't win anything, though, unfortunately. John Williams has a fantastic score. There's some great camera work, again, as I said. There is that sex scene at the end, though, that has Eric Bana kind of orgasming to a execution of Jewish Olympians sort of crossing over. It's a weird scene. I love a lot of the aspects of this film, especially the conflict about the moral high ground between the two countries and the two people. It's got a few issues here and there, like I said. Putting this movie together as quickly as they did probably prevented it from being a real full-on masterpiece, but I still think it's one of Spielberg's best movies he's made in the last 2 decades. And I think it deserves more recognition than this scene here.
That movie was Eric Bana kicking fucking ass. Through every movie with Jews, we're the ones getting killed. Munich flips it on its ear. We're Captain motherfuckers.
Not only killing, but fucking like taking names.
If any of us get late tonight, it's because of Eric Bana.
I agree with that.
In the end, I'm going to give Munich a 5 out of 7. Anyways, guys, that's all from me. If you enjoyed this review, leave a like, and if you're interested in more, subscribe. Otherwise, see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching the video. My name is Nitz, and you might remember me from the animated cult classic TV show Undergrads. It's been a while, but I'm happy to say the Clique is finally getting back together in an all-new movie, thanks to a successful Kickstarter campaign. But we are still asking for your support. To see any and all updates about the upcoming Undergrads movie, be sure to check out and like the Bring Back Undergrads Facebook page. And with any luck, we'll see you guys soon.